I've been kind of obsessed with Marvel Rivals recently.
Oh my goodness!
And it got me thinking of who I would want to be in the game, and then I realized I would just be making a wishlist video, which there are a ton of. So I decided to use my skills as an artist and do something a little self-indulgent. For those who have been watching the channel, you might recognize this guy. Yeah, you might have seen him kind of everywhere on my channel. His name is Beetleboy, and today we are going to put him in Marvel Rivals. In concept alone though, I do not know how to 3D model, and I am not modding the game. Step 1 in our journey to putting Beetleboy in the Marvel Rivals art style is to pose him up now, because we kind of need to do that first, sketch out the pose before we get to rendering and lining, because believe it or not, the Marvel Rivals art style does have lining to it. It's actually pretty much everywhere, and I didn't notice that at first, probably because of just the 3D models, but actually inspecting the art itself, it does have lines. So I'm just posing him up here now, just trying to get like a good pose. His motif is like stars, obviously, and actually a new motif that I added to him, which wasn't present before, is one, the number one specifically, because there's two of him. Well, not necessarily two. Well, technically it's two. It's not. I'll get to that eventually, not in this video, but it's a little complicated. He is Beetleboy 1 or Beetleboy Blue, or Unit 01. It really just depends on what you want to call him. He has a bunch of different names, but just one, especially his horn, is a big motif for this design. It's subtle, but it's there. Like, he has the one horn, he generally raises the one finger. I have that in another art that I'll show up on the screen here. So yeah, him, that's like his motif here, stars and the number one. I didn't know what to give him, to be honest, so I was like, well, he has a buster. He's very Mega Man inspired, not like he is, but he's not Mega Man, obviously, but he's Mega Man inspired, and he is like a biomechanical bug person thingy, so he is getting a buster, and this buster is going to be named later, but yes, he's getting a buster. I'm just going to go ahead and line him up now, just so we can get that going. Honestly, I think I did a really good job on the posing here. I know a lot of Rivals characters tend to look to the right, but I like this one because he's looking to the right while being turned to the left. I know that doesn't really make any sense here, but I just really like doing it like that. I don't know, it looked nice, so I just wanted to go with it. Putting the flat colors down here, and one thing about this style is that it has very blocky, painterly styles. Like right now, I'm just trying to kind of get a feel for it because it's very difficult. I don't think I really nailed it completely for this, but it was definitely a decent try. I kind of tried to get it in there a little bit. It does take me a while to kind of get used to it, but it's not too bad. I kind of do like the way that it ended up looking in the long run, but this was definitely a lot more difficult than I expected. But that's mostly because my actual art style doesn't really lend to being too painterly. My general art style is pretty basic for the most part. I use pretty harsh shadows, like kind of like comic booky in a way, and this didn't really fit the vibe because it's like more painterly, if anything. But I kind of got the hang of it. I really like the way I rendered this boot. It looked really cool, and I just wanted to point that out because I really like it. And essentially, I just kind of go about the rendering process here. Pretty self-explanatory. I just keep rendering it out. A lot of the different parts of this piece in general just took me a really long time. Just this whole process in general took me a super long time to do. One, because I was learning the style as I went instead of like doing studies first. This was my study. So that's essentially what you're seeing in real time. Well, it's time lapse, but you know, in time, that's what you're seeing me explain. I literally decided to go ahead and just do this whole thing as my study. And I just wanted to do that because I didn't want to just draw one of the already existing characters in it. I know that would have been easier to learn the style, but I just didn't want to do that, and I feel like this was a lot more fun. And I was right. It is a lot more fun because it's my own character, and I just wanted to see what he would look like in this style, or like my rendition of the style. I do want to do this a lot more. Like, I kind of want to put his brother in this style as well, Beetleboy 2 or Beetleboy Red. A little bit of lore on him. He's his brother, and his other half, low-key. I can't really get into it much because it's kind of complicated, so it just, they're essentially the same guy, but they're not the same guy. So that's really all it is. But they're brothers. That doesn't make any sense, but just know that's literally what it is. But essentially, yeah, this is the Beetleboy becoming one with Marvel Rivals. With him being complete, here's how he ended up in Marvel Rivals. Beetle Boy is one of the 2 ambassadors of planet Astrodia 6. Being one of the more lenient of the 2, he tends to goof off a lot. Beetle Boy was dropped into the time stream entanglement in Tokyo 2099 with absolutely no answers. He met up with Spider-Man and Penny Parker to see what's going on with the 2 Dooms. Very simple and to the point, but it was just to inject him into the game somehow. I didn't know how else to do it, and that was like the best way, so he just kind of blooped in there, I guess. And now on to his abilities, because I wrote those down too just to make it really seem like I put him in Marvel Rivals. And speaking of abilities, how about you use that ability to click like and subscribe on the video and tell me how much you like it in the comments. I'm trying to get to 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year, and any support is appreciated. Anyways, back to the video. Beetle Boy's primary fire is Star Buster Blaster. This allows Beetle Boy to shoot stars out of his Buster arm. See, we not shooting lemons out here, we only shooting stars. Beetle Boy's secondary fire is Beetle Wing Shield. Beetle Boy turns his back and flaps his wings, reflecting projectiles and absorbs damage. He can take up to 400 damage before turning back around. I have never drawn Beetle Boy with his wings out, but he does in fact have wings. Beetle Boy's ability 1 is Shooting Star Dash. Beetle Boy dashes in a straight line. If an enemy is in the line of the dash, they will get flipped over and applied with a grounded status effect. And finally, Beetle Boy's ultimate ability, Star Buster Cannon. Beetle Boy charges up a giant star blast that bounces around the area for 4 seconds and snaring any enemy that it comes into contact with for 1 second. Okay, I know that sounds really broken, but I really just wanted to put it in as his ultimate, so I think it justifies the brokenness of it. Now, with the abilities out the way, I want to talk about skins, because I did design those too. For Beetle Boy's first skin, this is the Recolor skin for 600 lattice. This is based off of Beetle Boy Red, his brother. Now, a little bit of lore, they're not actually brothers, but they are brothers. They're technically the same guy, but they're like 2 halves of one whole. It's a whole different thing, and I definitely want to make a video on it one day, so if you guys are interested in that, please leave a comment in the comments about that, because I will yap about this forever. Even if no one asked for it in the comments, I'm probably still going to make a video on it, just be warned. And for Beetle Boy's final skin, it is Retro Beetle Boy. Now, the OGs on the channel know about this one. This is the first design of Beetle Boy that has ever been created. This is the video game / Tamagotchi motif that I had going on. It was definitely weird designing this one because Beetle Boy will never look like this again. Like, maybe if I do like a future Beetle Boy Generations type of thing, maybe, but like, he will never look like this. But it was really cool kind of going back and taking all the ideas that I had from that point in time and making them to fit into this style. So, for this last segment, I actually wanted to try my hand at voice acting and give Beetle Boy interactions with some of the characters already in the game. I'm not a voice actor, so please do not flame me in the comments. I am trying to do my best here. Whoa, Spidey, does this count as our second official team up? Sorry, Spidey, let's get pizza later, okay? Whoa, is that Venom the King in Black? Do you think I can get an autograph and bring it back to Red? So is that a no? See, that's why Spidey's better than you. And that's for breaking into my house. Hey Mantis, since you can read the emotions of all living beings, you think you can read mine? You know, since I'm a biomechanical beetle and all? Whew, that was a close one. Thanks for the assist, Manty. Wow, cool tech, Iron Man. You think you can give me some upgrades? I promise I'll pay you back. Please? No, I won't help you exterminate these guys. Unlike you, I don't despise my non-mechanical friends. Wow, Penny, you and Spider work so well together. Wish me and Red could help each other out like that. So that is Beetle Boy in Marvel Rivals. I had a lot of fun doing this and attempting to learn the style. I definitely want to keep making more characters with this style, so let me know what characters you think I could do next, or if you have any ideas for your own OCs and mascots in Marvel Rivals. And if you want to keep up with me, aside from other platforms besides YouTube here, you can follow me on Instagram, Threads, or Blue Sky. I'm the most active on Instagram, and then second would be Threads, and then I don't really use Blue Sky as much, but I will be trying to be more active on there, so don't worry if you want to follow me on there. And if you want to leave a donation, please consider supporting me on Ko-Fi. It would go a long way and I will very much appreciate it. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, bye!